Hello everyone. Today we are going to attend Intermediate to Advanced of Microsoft Excel. This is the third session. Myself Sriraj Lakapati and my friend Aditya Jaswal will be continuing with this session. Our first topic is lookup function.
Hello everyone, my name is Aditya. So, going to the lookup function, we need to look in a single row or column to find a value from the same position in a second row or column. Let's make it simple. In this worksheet, we can see the column A, B, C, D, E and F. Over here, we have named as superhero name, last name, publisher and first appearance. Let's take a simple example. Okay. Firstly, we will take about Detective Comics. So I will tell you easily about it. Like if we take the example of Detective Comics, I know if we compare first appearance and superhero name, the hero who appeared in Detective Comics would be Batman. So this we would look using a formula of lookup, that is equal to lookup D15. The here this is the coordinates for D15. The box where we have written Detective Comics. We have to compare only Detective Comics what the answer is. So we have to write the first formula as D15, comma. Then we have to take the whole column for first appearance, that is E2 is to E12. Then comma. Then whom we have to compare? We have to compare with the superhero name because we want the name of the superhero that came in Detective Comics. So what we will write over here is simple as A2 is to A12. Then don't forget to apply a bracket and enter. Then as soon as we enter, we will find that Detective Comics, the superhero which occurred was Batman. Let's take another example. For example, if we take over here E7, that is the table Tales of Suspense, hashtag 39. Over here we can see Iron Man was the superhero. But what we would do is we would write over here, instead of Detective Comics, we will write Tales of Suspense. Then in the formula we will write is equal to lookup bracket open D15 comma the whole column we would take as usual E2 is to E12, so that it can compare this to this, the superheroes column, that is A2 is to A12, and we will close the bracket. As soon as we press enter, then it would show here that in Tales of Suspense Iron Man occurred. So that's lookup function is as simple as like this. Now moving forward, the most important thing is the values in lookup vector must be placed in ascending order, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, A to Z, otherwise lookup might not return the correct value. Uppercase and lowercase text are equivalent.
Lookup functions, that is VLOOKUP function. Lookup value must be in the first column of the range where you are looking. Table array is the range containing the lookup value and the result. Column index number is the column number in the range containing the return value, and specify whether it's true or false to get an approximate match or an exact match. Now, what is VLOOKUP? So, VLOOKUP looks for a value in the leftmost column of a table. Then it returns the value of the column which you have been selected in a specific row specified by yourself. Now, this is the syntax of the VLOOKUP. So basically, we write as equal to VLOOKUP bracket lookup value, comma table array, comma column index number, comma range lookup bracket. So whereas lookup value signifies the value you want to lookup. Table array is the range where the lookup value is located. Column index number is the column number in the range that contains the return value. And whereas range lookup, which specifies whether true or false to get an approximate value or an exact value. Now we will take a look at the types of the lookup. One is the range lookup, another is the exact lookup. In the range lookup, we actually use it when you want to search for ranges. It will look for the nearest minimum value from the first column of the table. Supposingly, if the table consists of 40, 50, 60, 70, and so on, and you search for 55, then it will destined to 55 as it is the nearest minimum value. It is an appropriate match indicated as true or 1. Whereas in exact lookup, when you use this function, if for example, if the table consists of 40, 50, 60 and 70 and you search 55, then it will not show anything, because in exact lookup you need to specify the exact number. You cannot use the numbers between the ranges, so it shows false or 0. Let's make it simple for you. Now we will take an example to implement on Excel sheet. Now we will apply VLOOKUP formula in the following two Excel sheets. Take an example. If your boss has given you a sudden work to find out the last name, department, and pay rate of the following employees. Now we have given a master employees list. As we know, the list is very much big. So we just can't do copy paste method for each and every employee. So we will apply VLOOKUP function. Now type equal to VLOOKUP bracket and now press fx function and the function argument window will get open. Now we have to put the values for lookup value. Note that the lookup value must be permanent and similar in both the sheets. Take employee ID in lookup value, that is the section B3. Press F4 3 times. Second is the table array. Open the second MS Excel sheet and select the whole list. Press F4 one time. Once done, again now for the column index number, check in the master employee list. Since the last name comes in the second column, press 2. Now in the fourth line, that is the range lookup, press false because we have to get an exact value, not an approximate value. Press OK. Now you will get the value for the first employee ID, that is 104, we get Smith. Now to take for all the values, stretch the lines downwards. This is how you will get all the values for the required employee ID. And similarly for department and pay rate, you have to follow these steps. Again type equal to VLOOKUP, go to the function argument. When the windows get open, again write B3, put press F4 3 times and continue with the same procedure.
Okay, so now we will look about HLOOKUP function, another part of lookup function. HLOOKUP looks for a value in the top row of a table, then returns a value in the same column from a row you specify. Syntax. The syntax for HLOOKUP would be equal to HLOOKUP in bracket lookup value, comma table array, comma row index number, comma range lookup, bracket close. Now we will look about it. Lookup value. What is lookup value? Value you want to look up. Table array. The range where the lookup value is located. Row index number. Row number in the range that contains the return value. The range lookup. Optionally, you can specify true for an appropriate match or false for an exact match of the return value. Types. There are two types of HLOOKUP function. Range lookup and exact lookup. Firstly, let's look about range lookup. Used when you want to search for ranges, it will look for nearest minimum value from the top row of the table. If the table consists of 40, 50, 60, 70 and you search for 55, then it will be destined to 50 as it is the nearest minimum value. It is an appropriate match indicated as true or 1. Exact lookup. Used when you want to search for exact value. If table consists of 40, 50, 60, 70 and you search for 55, then it will show nothing, that is NA. It is an exact match indicated as false or 0. Okay friends, now we would implement HLOOKUP function. Here we have a table about inventory status check. The product code is given here XP200. Warehouse 1, warehouse 2, warehouse 3 is given. We have a master inventory list. Over here we have the table of product code, all the 3 warehouses, and these are the product code. Let's take an example. For example, if your boss has given you a work, he has given you the product code and has asked you to find the number of products present in the warehouse inventories. So what would you do? Instead of doing copy paste method, we would solve it easily by using HLOOKUP function. So let's see how we would do that. Firstly, we would write equal to HLOOKUP. We will open the bracket, we will open the function argument. Now we would write over here the coordinates B3. Why so? Because we have to search for this product code and we have to compare for this product code the answer for the warehouse. So what we would do, we would now we would press F4 and turn it into an absolute value. In the next part, we would shift towards master inventory list. As usual, as we did in VLOOKUP function, we would select the whole table like this. We would press F4 to make it an absolute value. Now we would shift to row index number. Now we want for warehouse 2 and under the product code XP200. So we will shift toward master inventory list. This is the product code XP200, warehouse 2, that is over here. So we will count 1, 2, 3. So here the number would come 3. After that, as usual, we know we have to write true or false. But since we want an exact match, we would write false. We will press enter, and as soon as we do this, we get the value 110. Now an important point to note, if you drag this and you think the value for warehouse 3 will come, then this is truly wrong. What you have to do is you have to again write the formula of HLOOKUP like this. You have to open the function arguments. Similarly, you have to select B3, press F4. Then in table array, you have to select the whole table in the similar way we did. make it an absolute, make the value absolute. After that, row index number, warehouse 3. Under the product XP200, we will go to master inventory list. XP200 warehouse 3, we will count 1, 2, 3, 4. So over here, we will write the number 4, and after that, we will return range lookup as usual false, and we press enter. So now let's match our values 150, 110, 115. XP200, 150, 110, 115. So guys, it's that much easy. Okay, so we will learn now how to use the pivot table slicer tool in Excel. Firstly, inserting a pivot table. Pivot tables are an excellent way of presenting large sets of data in an easy to understand way. Over here we can see a large set of data. Using a slicer in the presentation, I often find myself presenting to groups of people who are not at all familiar with the data I am using. If I glance around the room and see blank looks on some of the faces, I know that I am not reaching my audience very well and need to address it pretty quickly. One of the ways I have found to be helpful is to prepare by adding a couple of slicers before I start my presentation. Over here, inserting a slicer, we can see when you have created a pivot table, as we have seen earlier, the insert slicer command becomes available in the pivot table tools ribbon. Here we can see in the pivot table tools ribbon, those who have 2010 Excel, over here we can see insert slicer. The option is visible. Over here we can see insert slicer. As soon as we press it, the slicer would appear in the right part of your screen. Those who have Excel 2013 version and after, over here they can see in the file column, pivot table column, insert slicer option being visible. As soon as we press over here, we can see in the right part it's visible. Let's see. Clearly over here, the slicer will appear on the screen with a list of the selected filter list visible. Let me make it simple for you. We surf on the net in Amazon, Flipkart, and we apply filters. The same filters what we apply is just the slicers which we apply over here. Like here we can see if I select the option flight only, night 7, region, all the 3 regions I have selected. If this, for example, if we take, then what the slicer will do is slice off all the other parts, leaving the part which we have selected in this table, in the slicer table. The same way as we do on Amazon or Flipkart or any other app. Moving forward, filtering with the slicer tool, the view just select one of the fields and the corresponding data will be displayed. As I told you earlier, any of the field which we select, only that data would be visible to you, and all the other data would be sliced and cut off from the table, so that it is easy for you to view, and it would be easy and you will get what you want exactly. Moving forward, in the 2013 version of Excel, you can also hide slicers from the selection pane. We don't need any PowerPoint. We can directly turn off the grid lines and minimize the ribbon so that we can create an ideal presentation platform directly from Excel.
Now we will take a look in working with cells. There are many columns given in the toolbar. For example, it's the copy and paste contents. Select the cell or cells you wish to copy. Click the copy command in the clipboard group on the home tab. Select the cell or cells where you want to paste the information and then click the paste command. The copied information will now appear in the new cells. Similarly, to cut and paste cell contents, select the cell or cells you wish to cut. Click the cut command in the clipboard group on the home tab. Select the cell or cells where you want to paste the information. Click the paste command, and hence the cut information will be removed and now appear in the new. Similarly, there are commands of sorting also. For example, in the toolbar, there is a command called sort and filter. You can try both, either in alphabetical order or from smallest to largest order. Now there are some of the shortcut keys. For example, most important are that insert cell command, that is shift plus F2, or else insert a new worksheet, shift plus F11, or select all cells with command, control plus shift plus O. There are many other shortcut keys. Now coming to another topic, how freeze panes in Excel. Firstly, on the bar, we will see a view option there. Select freeze panes in there, in the third row. Now select the freeze panes column, that is on the view tab in the window group, click freeze pane or freeze panes. Scroll down to the rest of the worksheet and see the rows above row 3 are frozen. Note, to keep columns visible while scrolling to the right of the worksheet, select a column and click freeze panes. This is how the freeze pane works. And now we will take a look on the MS Excel for an example. So now we would learn about freeze pane tool. It is a very important and easy tool in Excel. For example, if we have a very big list like this, and if we want to feed the information below, but since we don't know that which column belongs to which part, so to make it easy for us, we use the freeze pane tool, which helps to row or any column.
Now now we will show you where the freeze pane tool is. It's here over the view part. Over here we can see freeze panes. Now if I want to freeze the upper row, now what I would do is over here I would press freeze top row. So as soon as I scroll it, we can see the upper top row 1 is freezed completely, so that it is easy for us to write any value against the particular row and column. Now if we want to unfreeze it, we would press it again, unfreeze panes, and it would get unfreezed. Also we can freeze the top column, freeze the first column over here, and as soon as we just scroll it towards the right, we could see that the first A column is freezed, and to unfreeze it we would press it again. Now one more thing I would like to show you. If I want to freeze, for example, if I want to freeze this fifth row, so I would press just one single down row, sixth one. I would go to freeze panes, I would press freeze panes, and we could see over here that till the fifth row it's freezed. Similar way you can do all other activities in this in any of the part, anywhere you can use the freeze pane, so that easily you can feed the values.
Now let's take a look at the hiding data. To hide rows or column, select the rows or column you wish to hide. Use the format option on the home, or the easier way is to give a right click and select hide. Now to unhide rows or the column you have hidden, select the rows to either side of the hidden cells. Now use the format option on the home tab, or right click and select unhide. Similarly, you can hide the sheets. Right click on the sheet tab at the bottom of the window and select hide. To unhide sheets, right click a visible sheet tab and choose unhide. Lock and hide cells. A locked cell protects your work for accidental changes. Select hidden to hide your formulas. By default, all cells are locked.
Now let's see what data protection is. Sheet protection. Go to the review tab. In review tab, you have to choose protect sheet. Then over here, a bar will open called as protect sheet. Over here, you have to enter a password to protect the sheet. Remember, worksheet level protection is not intended as a security feature, but it prevents users from modifying the locked cells that is within the worksheet. Workbook protection. If the protect workbook is highlighted, then the workbook is protected. Also, if you click on the bottom of a sheet, over here we can see inside your workbook you will notice that the options to change the workbook structure such as insert, delete, rename, move, copy, hide and unhide, these are unavailable. Why so? Because we have encrypted the workbook with the password. How to do so is in the following way. We have to go to the info tab. Over here we can see protect workbook. As soon as we click it, over here an option comes like encrypt with password.
Let us revise some of the useful and easy concepts of Excel sheets. Firstly, sometimes duplicate data is useful and sometimes it just makes it harder to understand your data. Use conditional formatting to find and highlight duplicate data. That way you can review the duplicates and decide if you want to remove them. First step, select the cells you want to check for duplicates. Note, Excel can't highlight duplicates in the values area of a pivot table report. Second step, click Home. Go to Conditional Formatting. Press Highlighting Cells rules and then select Duplicate Values. A duplicate value box will get open. In the first option, select the duplicate and then in the box text to values with, pick the formatting you want to apply to the duplicate values and then click OK. And then you will see that all the duplicate values will get the same color of you have chosen. Now we will come how to remove duplicates. Firstly, select one or more columns from which you want to remove or duplicate, delete. Now, in the toolbar, select the option Design at the right. Then below the bar, certain options will be visible. Select the option Remove the duplicates from the tools. Then the Remove Duplicate box will get open. This removing duplicate box method is customizable. You can either select all the columns just by clicking Select All, or if you want to specify only some of the columns, click on the My Data Has Headers, and then options will come below. Select only the required columns and press OK. As soon as you press OK, you will see that the duplicates which belong to the same column will get deleted. This tool is used to clear the mistakes on entering multiple datas and is very useful. Now to reorder the columns. Sometimes when the lists are big and we want to compare two of the columns or number of the columns, we can replace that columns nearer to each other. For this, we first have to select the whole column by clicking Shift Control down arrow. Bring the mouse to the edge of the column bar, either of the side, and then drag towards the required side. This is how you will be able to rearrange or reorder the column by your requirement. Now, resizing by rows or column. In some cases, many of us get short with the number of rows or column while putting the datas. So to overcome the issue, we do resizing the block without losing the data. Now, select the whole list of your block. Then come to the right bottom corner and then select the corner edge and drag according to the required extra number of rows or column. This way, you can add up rows and columns to the sheet and fill the datas accordingly.
So our next topic is working with data. Let's see the first one. Over here we can see a part of the worksheet. Grouping worksheets. How could we group few number of worksheets together is by pressing and holding down the control key and click the worksheet tabs you want to group. Also, over here we can see after doing the procedure, these 3 October, November and December sheets will get grouped. A tip: if you want to group consecutive worksheets, click the first worksheet tab in the range, press and hold the shift key and click the last worksheet tab in the range, like this. Also, to ungroup selected worksheets, if you don't want to apply specific tasks to a particular set of worksheet, ungroup selected worksheet. Okay, now how to do so is press and hold the control key and click the worksheet tabs you want to ungroup. Over here we will press the control key and click this worksheet tab. All the 3 would be clicked together as it is grouped, and as soon as we click it again, then it would get ungrouped. The next point is copying and pasting visible cells. Although we have learned basic copy and pasting method, but in this we would learn about some extra means, like if a hidden table is there and if you do copy paste method to another sheet, then you will find that you will not get the same table which you want. You will get the whole table which was there, hidden and unhidden both. So if some cells, rows or columns on a worksheet do not appear, you have the option of copying all cells or only the visible cells. By default, Excel copies hidden or filtered cells in addition to visible cells. As we can see over here, Excel has copied all the hidden and visible both the cells. If this is not what you want, follow the steps to copy visible cells only. For example, you can choose to copy only the summary from an outline worksheet. Like, select the cells that you want to copy. For more information, see select cells, ranges, rows or columns on a worksheet. A tip: to cancel a selection of cells, click any cell in the worksheet. The next step is click Home menu. Over there, find and select. Here we can see Home menu, find and select. After that, and pick Go to Special. Excel ribbon image, click visible cells only, OK. Over here, go to Special, click visible cells only, OK. Click Copy or press Ctrl plus C, the copy command. Select the upper left cell of the paste area and click paste or press Ctrl+V in the next worksheet so that only the present table can be pasted, not like this. A tip: to copy a selection to a different worksheet or workbook, click another worksheet tab or switch to another workbook and then select the upper left cell of the paste area. Also, one thing you should note: Excel pastes the copied data into consecutive rows or columns. If the paste area contains hidden rows or columns, you might have to unhide the paste area to see all of the copied cells. The next one is multiple filters. How should we apply is very simple. We have studied about filters in the earlier stages. Firstly, in your Excel sheet, you have to come to the Analyze option. After clicking on the Analyze option, you have to click over here in the Options table. Firstly, you should have a pivot table present in your Excel sheet. Only after that, this would be visible. You have to click the Options part, go to the Pivot Table options. A Pivot Table options screen would be visible to you as we have shown over here like this. Then you have to go to Totals and Filter, and over here you have to select this option, Allow multiple filters per field. Like this, you could do multiple filters at a single time, so that it would make easy for you to understand the whole pivot table and would make your work easy. So moving forward, the next one is grouping dates. So how to do this? To change date groups, select date. Firstly, we have to go to Analyze part again. Then after that, here group field. Over here, what we have to do is exactly to change date groups. Select a date and then go to Analyze. After going to Analyze, we have to select the group field part present in the box. Over here we can see this table will open grouping. And for newer versions of Excel, group dates automatically. Over here we can see. In the newer part, in the older part, we have to follow these steps to group the dates. Moving forward, grouping text. For grouping text, again we have to follow the same steps. We have to go to the Analyze part. Over here, we have to click the option Group Selection over here. After pressing this table opens, Pivot Table Fields. Over here, a new field group appears, Title 2. We can see over here. Using the new field group for comparison, we can use this for comparison in our pivot table, and we could just select the part which we want in Title 1 and the other part in Title 2, and just we can easily compare, or we can group a text inside a table easily by using this method. It's very simple. The same method if you follow, we can do easily, and we can group the text very easily. So the last part is report filter pages. Okay, so here show report filter pages is great if creating your pivot table, you add your data to data model. Same way, we have to go to Analyze option. We have to click over here the options. In the options, it will show us show report filter pages. Over here, the show report filter pages, a tab will open. Then after that, we could see show all report filter pages of rating. Over here we can see the options are present. As you select OK by selecting the option, then it will be applied automatically. Let's see over here. A new table and worksheet is generated for each. Over here we can see a worksheet. A new worksheet will be generated. How we have to do easily is select any cell inside the pivot table. The second step, select the options, Analyze, Contextual, Ribbon tab. Click the drop down arrow to the right of the options, button on the left side. Then after that, we have to click on the show report filter pages. It's that much easy. Okay, so this is end of our Excel presentation and implementation. Thank you guys for listening and learning with us. Myself Aditya and my friend Shiraj.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks a lot.